is going to be massively important for its goal to simplify the legal cumbersome environment that commercial real estate is surrounded by. So regulators may not be willing to provide these tokens a different treatment from traditional commercial real estate. So some of the benefits that Blocksware has identified to the providers of their platform may not be coming through as expected, to the extent regulators get in the way. So here, after all of this, here's the $1 million question: is what role should incumbents play in this disruption? My thought is always that it's in the best interest for companies to disrupt rather than being disrupted. It is true for self-driving cars. In fact, you see all of the major automakers being involved and putting billions of dollars in investments in it. And I think it's also true here. It's not just the fact of losing a portion of the revenues. In this case, it's actually there's substantial benefit of transforming this market. There's the liquidity aspect of it that is completely off today, and an enhanced liquidity could potentially be extremely valuable to all players. It would reduce systemic risk. It would also allow players to come in and out of positions more easily, hence being more comfortable in taking larger positions. So the threat is essentially potentially losing part of the fees that currently REITs generate. However, here again, I want to point out that it's not a direct threat. Like REITs could potentially tokenize their assets and then still provide the same type of services to their clients, to the extent the clients are willing to pay an extra for those services. But again, here in this case, what I see as the most valuable impact is the more important impact is the impact on the market, on how different this market will look like to the extent Blocksware goal is achieved, which is also why I would think companies, commercial real estate companies or REITs should partner with companies like Blocksware because at the end of the day, they're going to be the one really benefiting from it. Sorry. So finally, here I tried to take out my crystal ball and make some predictions of how the industry will change. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a straightforward path. Change will be progressive, but I do believe that in the long term, this tokenization of assets will revolutionize commercial real estate to the extent regulators allow it to happen. The short term, as I mentioned, means one, building a whole ecosystem around this tokenization of assets. Two, partnering with regulators and explaining them the benefits from having more liquid market and from having market economy, really, because what the current commercial real estate market is more of a small kind of table that is that only some specific players are allowed to sit at, and there are substantial benefits on the other side of it being transformed in a complete market economy, environment, say. So I do believe that once these companies like Blocksware will be able um, to speak with regulators and ensure that some sort of safety around what they're proposing, that will eventually lead into large players accepting to digitalize their assets, which will in turn lead into massive amount of supply that enters, and also a whole new kind of demand being added to the equation, which is all the retail investors that before could not access this market for the high minimum requirements, that now are able to go and create their own portfolios of commercial real estate, um, and being a player as well. So I do believe that this will be the long-term path of this industry. It will not be an easy one. I also believe that perhaps it would be a good decision for companies like Blocksware to identify some specific markets where they could do this. And I'm thinking probably the US market being one of the most, um, say, market friendly um, legislators out there, will probably be a very good one. Also because it doesn't have all the several jurisdictions that perhaps the European market has. So that is something um, that is just an idea for Blocksware. But I do believe they are in the good path. I do believe they have a solid team put together to solve these issues, and I do believe that incumbents will soon see the benefit of it, understand the benefit of it, and they will join in the fight to digitalize commercial real estate. So this brings me to the end of the presentation. Appreciate everyone's time, and feel free to reach out to the extent you have question. My email is giuseppe.e.capolino@jpmorgan.com. Thank you so much, and have a good one.